Thank you, Senator King, for hosting this meeting, and Director Jarvis for coming to the state of Maine. It's great to have you here. Like you, I think it's critical to hear from the folks who have taken the time to be here tonight. I've had the privilege to speak with a lot of you, and I know that to a fault, every one of you loves the state of Maine and wants the very best for this state. While not always do we agree, I know that to be true. I value the time that you've given me and the way you've helped this idea get better over time. So thank you all for being here. My name is Lucas St Clair, and I'm the president of Elliotsville Plantation, which is a nonprofit foundation that was established by my family and is designed to promote land conservation in the state of Maine. I was born in Dover Foxcroft, and I grew up hunting and fishing and enjoying the outdoors in the North Woods of Maine. Now, along with my wife, Yamaya, I take my children to those same places, and I still hunt and fish and love the outdoors. Yamaya and I have two children, Gabriella, who's 5, and Waylon, who is 2. Gabriella came tonight. In addition to going around the state and talking a lot about national monuments, I'm also slowly learning to play the guitar. It's going slowly. The other morning, I was picking away at the guitar while Gabriella was getting ready for school, and she came up to me and she said, "Papa, I hope you're better at creating national monuments than you are at playing that guitar." For her sake and mine, I hope she's right. In all seriousness, the idea of creating a national monument in the Katahdin region grew out of hundreds, maybe thousands of conversations, one cup of coffee at a time. And over the past several years, we've listened and we've refined our proposal to make it unique to Maine. The foundation would like to donate 87,500 acres of land that it owns to create a new national monument east of Baxter State Park in the Katahdin region. During my time talking with so many of you, we've heard your concerns and have worked to address them. Outdoor recreation is part of the heritage and the culture of our state, and we've made sure that the activities that we all care about will be permanently protected. With the creation of this monument, snowmobile trails east of the East Branch of the Penobscot River will be guaranteed forever, and hunting on the same land will also be guaranteed forever. We talk a lot about the economic benefits of the National Monument, and those are real and they're important, and I know snowmobiling and hunting are critical to the economy in northern Maine, but they're more than that. They're also part of the fabric of these communities and the family traditions of people who live in the Katahdin region, and I promise through this proposal they will be protected. In addition to contributing the land, we will create a $40 million endowment. That endowment will offset the costs of maintenance and operations. And practically speaking, that endowment means that investments could start soon after designation, putting people to work quickly. Conservation is important to me, and it's important to our foundation. But we're also committed to making an investment in the Katahdin region that will create jobs and will help to spark economic revitalization in communities having a hard time. Peer-reviewed economic studies predict that a new national park unit would create hundreds of jobs while drawing new families and new energy to a part of the state that needs both. The struggles of Maine's paper industry are no secret. 5 mills have closed in the last 3 years and hundreds of people have lost their jobs, and we feel for them. A new national monument isn't a silver bullet. No one thing is. But a major recreational attraction in the interior of northern Maine can be a part of a new economic foundation that will create opportunities for new businesses to start and existing businesses to grow. All told, the National Monument will endowment represents a $100 million investment in the Katahdin region in the state of Maine. Now, I know you have a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to answer some of the ones I hear most up front, Yes, a national monument can successfully coexist with active timber harvesting and commercial forestry. We see examples of that all over the country. We know that there are concerns about tourists sharing roads with logging trucks, and we take those concerns very seriously. I can tell you that we have resolved the questions of access and that we can safely move people in and out of the National Monument and allow the efficient transportation of timber. And as I'm sure Director Jarvis can confirm, a new national monument will not impact air quality standards outside the park. It will not place any new restrictions on other nearby landowners, and it will not use eminent domain to expand the park boundaries or include landowners that don't wish to be within the boundary. I understand these concerns, and I've heard them around kitchen tables across the region. I know they're real, and I'm confident they've been addressed. But there's one question about this proposal that I don't understand. I've heard some people say that the land isn't worthy of being a national monument. Simply, there isn't anything there to see. I have to admit, on this point, I wholeheartedly disagree. The lands that we are talking about helped to launch America's conservation movement. They inspired Theodore Roosevelt and Henry David Thoreau. Crossing the East Branch of the Penobscot River, the beauty of this landscape and the massive expanse of uninterrupted forests convinced Percival Baxter to forever protect Mount Katahdin. From the silver maple floodplains of the East Branch to the wild and remote Wasatacook River to the top of DZ Mountain, where it feels like the whole world unfolds underneath your feet, this land will take your breath away. We also recognize the amazing story that deserves to be told, and we think that the National Park Service is the very best at doing that. When a national monument is created, the Park Service will tell the history of the Wabanaki people and the importance of the sacred Penobscot River. And they'll tell the story of the log drives and the paper industry that made this region so fantastic, and the heroic men and women who came to build the mills and work in the woods and drive logs down the rivers. There's amazing beauty here and a history worth preserving. I'm hoping our state can share it with the world. I'll close with one final point. I know that the idea of a national monument, created hopefully as an interim step to a national park and national recreation area, has divided people, and that there is opposition. Opponents particularly say that the region opposes the national monument, but I know that support here is strong and growing, and in time will continue to grow. But this isn't a decision that only affects a handful of people. It matters to all of Maine, because in our state we all rise and fall together. A stronger economy in northern Maine matters to all of us. It's easy to say no to new ideas. Change is hard, but it is already upon us. A new monument can protect some of those things that we all hold dear. I hope that you will be open to the possibilities and the opportunities that a new national monument will create. This is a chance to do something great for our kids, for their kids, and generations to come, while helping the communities of the Katahdin region today. Thank you, Senator King. Thank you, Director Jarvis, for holding this meeting, and most importantly, thank all of you for coming tonight.